Oh, you guys have probably been waiting for this one, so I thought I would do it next. We are doing the Patriots today, mock offseason, 7 round mock draft, and free agency. This one was tough, but let's get into it. So I went ahead and re-signed Tom Brady. I really think Tom Brady just needs to end his career in New England, no doubt about that. Um, so got him, picked up Calvin Noy again, got Jamie Collins, Joe Thuney, got them back. Picked up Danny Amendola because of familiarity. Wide receivers for Tom Brady are kind of thin here, and I had to address a lot of this in the free agency or in the draft, but we'll get to that. I picked up Danny Amendola just because he has that familiarity with Tom Brady that I think that would help, and I got Jimmy Graham on the cheap. To it's kind of more of just a fill in or to kind of he's kind of like a plug in until we can get some more players in next year. As far as draft capital, or we had a lot, but on this team, but there was hardly any cap space, man. So cap space is killing us. This team's gonna it's gonna be having some trouble for a while, just because there's just the cap space is the problem on this team. I had to dump Mohamed Sanu. They gave us like almost $7 million in cap back, which was cool. And I got rid of Matt Lacoste as well, simply because he was getting paid $2 million. I had to clear up some cap space. It was tough. So that's basically how that went down. It wasn't the greatest free agency. It was more just for balance. I really wanted to build this team through the draft, and I think I did a really good job on the draft. So let's check that out next. All right, let's do this. So Tom Brady's main concern is weapons, right? He's like, I'm staying. I want weapons, and I'm like, okay, boss, I'm gonna get you what you need. With the number one pick, in their number one first round pick, got T Higgins out of Clemson, big wide receiver, can go up there and get it. He does have some issues as far as breaking away from press. But I think that's just more of a strength issue. And in the NFL, you got the best strength trainers. And I feel like you get this kid a little bit stronger, he shouldn't have any more problems with that. But he's a big receiver. I think he's like 6'4". He's over 200 pounds. He can go up there and get him if Tom just lobs him. So I think he'd be a really good addition to the receiving core. So we went ahead and went T. Higgins. After that, I wanted to get a running back because I feel like his running backs, he kind of has like a running back for every kind of situation, but I wanted a one running back for any situation, if that makes sense. And Cam Akers kind of stood out. We didn't have a second round pick, so I had to wait till the third round. But Cam Akers kind of remind me of like a Derrick Henry type runner, where he can kind of shake off some tackles. He's not as big, definitely not as powerful, but he kind of had a lot of similarities. He does the cuts very similar, bounces off of the tackles, and he can get outside real fast. But he also kind of reminded me of like a receiving back, like a Christian McCaffrey type who can, he can take a screen all the way, or he can get the ball. You got a playmaker with him. So went ahead and picked him up. I wanted to give Bill Belichick some players too, because he's a defensive guy. Went with Kenny Willekes. He's a machine. This guy right here has a really high motor. Every play I like watched of his, like all the film that I watched of him, he's just all over the ball. I think he had the most tackles for loss in the Big Ten. So he is behind that line of scrimmage a lot, and that's what Bill Belichick likes. And I know that cornerbacks are kind of a weakness right now, aside from Stephon Gilmore. The cornerbacks situation is going to be a weakness for this team, but I think with the edge player like Kenny Willekes, that can really help that secondary quite a bit, just because he's going to pressure that quarterback a lot. So went ahead and got him. Next, we got some protection for Tom. Went with Trey Adams out of Washington, one of the higher ranked tackles in the draft. And you can't get better than that. He's pretty good. Doesn't really give up a lot of sacks, and when he does, they're few and far between. So, wanted to go with him for the next third round pick. So I think the strength of this draft is going to be the amount of picks in the late rounds, and you just kind of gotta hope that you hit some like home runs. And so far, I think honestly, a lot of these are going to be home runs. Next one, fourth round pick, Thaddeus Moss, second ranked tight end in the draft, in my opinion. Definitely a receiving threat. He could use some work in the block game. But you know what? That's all coaching. It's all technique. As far as going up there and getting him, though, that's what Tom needs. He needs another weapon. Thaddeus Moss can be that weapon. Next up, I had to wait a whole nother round, man. It was really tough watching all these people I wanted to go by. But round 6 came, and we had 4 picks in round 6. It's insane. I went with Levante Taylor out of Florida State. It's more just for a depth type of cornerback, sorry. And it's more just a slot corner depth. Thought I'd pick him up, go with him there. Next pick was Patrick Nielsen at SMU. Love the film on this guy. He comes up and he basically is really good at stopping the run. He comes up, he makes tackles out of nowhere. He's got really good closing speed. Really like the film that I saw on him. He was stopping the run quite a bit. So that's one aspect of the game. If you can cut that out, you're forcing the pass game. And if you get that pass rush, we got ourselves a problem. If you can't get the ball out and you can't run it, you're done. So went with him. Think Bill Belichick could really do some stuff with that guy. Next up was Willie Gay Jr. out of Mississippi State. Insane closing speed. There were clips that I saw of him where you just saw like the quarterback get the ball, he goes back, he starts going through his reads, and then boom, out of nowhere, Willie Gay comes out of nowhere like a friggin' cannonball and just takes him out. So very impressive. After I saw that, I'm like, we got to pick this guy up. Bill Belichick's going to love being able to do stuff with this. And went with that. Next up, Yasir Durant. Only main concern about this guy is work ethic. He's when I read up on him, people aren't really happy with how he puts, like, his effort isn't there. He could be more than what he actually is. And he's been set up to be like a right tackle in the NFL, and I feel like somebody needs to have a sit down with him and be like, listen, man, is this what you want? Because if this is what you want and you're willing to put in the work, I'm willing to work with you. And if you have him and you have Trey Adams, I think you can really set up, down the road, you can set up these two guys to be bookends for whoever takes over for Tom Brady, But they both have the talent to do it, and they're both, I think they're both, Trey Adams, he was estimated to be a first round pick to like a third round pick. But Durant, he's been estimated to be a second round pick. And if I get him in the 6th round, he can shape up and grow up because he's still a kid. Most of these college dudes are. If he grows up and gets his shit together, who's to say that he won't turn into something great, Moving on, we need some defensive line help. Went with Benito Jones. One thing I really liked about his film is he demands a lot of double teams. He's not really great as far as pass rush. He does beat double teams every now and then, though. He does some good swim moves that I saw. But really, every time I've seen them play, they're always double teaming him. So he demands the attention, and I think that was really going to help up front. So I went and got him. And then finally, I went with Trevor Wallace-Sims. I just liked how he was able to be really violent in his blocking. He's kind of a mauler, and I've seen a few plays where he was just knocking the defensive linemen on their butts. Like, he was just trucking them and running them over. And that was just really impressive to me. And I thought, wow, man, you got to get this guy on this team. And then finally, you guys might have seen Austin Mack in my other video for the Titans. I really do like this receiver. I feel like he's underrated, and it's just because he was buried on a depth chart for a long time. I feel like he's definitely better than a 7th round pick. But you know what? If you can get him in the 7th round, he's better than a 7th round pick. You better take him. You better take him. Anyways, that's the draft, guys. Hope you liked it. I will be looking for another team to do a mock draft with relatively soon, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, tell your friends. Have a great one. Take care, and bye.